their way.
Absolutely. As they load in, I will, in my world, we call it an audible here. Just if we have any sound from mission control or anything, I'd love to take a peek at what's going on in there and just give the folks at home some idea of what's happening there. There we go.
There we go.
So we don't have sound of it, but we can see all of the brain behind this beast.
But I could tell you, Carissa, other than a couple of discussion points on the radio, honestly, it's about this quiet when you're in there.
Really? That surprises me. Because you would think, like, in a control room in TV, it's a chaos, right? In the best way, but in there, it's quiet.
And honestly, chaos is, quite frankly, the last word I would use to describe our mission control. This team, they're working through very specific procedures on a very specific timeline. They've done their own rehearsals over and over again. We also want to keep the communication line open if anything, if anybody's got to call it out. But it is a very well choreographed team we've got.
And, when folks are wondering, what exactly 2 days of this space flight, done rehearsals and dry everything that you're seeing here. They practice over and over getting inside this capsule, strapping themselves in. And, one of the biggest things that they have to remember to do is when they get those, remember, they only get 4 minutes of weightlessness, 4 precious minutes. They have to unbuckle and then buckle back in at the exact right moment. So those are some of the things that they're learning to do and practicing while they're training in that building right behind us.
As we look at New Shepard 31, the 31st mission, the 11th human flight here for Blue Origin. We are T-minus 30 minutes. Carissa Thompson, Kristen Fisher, Ariane Cornell with us, and Tabitha Lipkin at the tower. I am going to be leaving here in just a few minutes. I'm going to go to fallback 3, an area. Then I will wait for the capsule to land. I'll wait for the recovery team to come out and then bring you interviews from each of our astronauts as they arrive back here on Earth. I cannot wait for that. Again, we've seen them load now into the capsule, and I just would love, some more play-by-play, Ariane, of sort of what now this process looks like, as it's all new to me. And for any of you that are also joining us for your first launch, welcome. And now we'll let the experts tell us what's going on.
So you saw them loading. You saw them loading into the capsule. They are getting into their seats. They're getting into their harnesses. It's a 5-point harness, so clicking them all in.
All right, we're hearing that Capcom right now. Sorry to interrupt you, Ariane, which is short for capsule communicator, and ready to do the astronaut comm check. So let's take a listen. Laura Stiles has the mic.
I'm gonna.
Gail King. Right. That's fine, but it's all right.
Welcome back, everybody. We are at T-minus 26 minutes and 50 seconds to go until NS-31. Blue Origin's 31st mission for our New Shepard rocket, our 11th human flight. I'm Ariane Cornell here with Kristen Fisher at the desk. Carissa Thompson has left to get into place for her viewing spot for the launch. We are waiting on Capcom, or the capsule communicator, to run the comms check with our astronauts. But Kristen, we were just talking a second ago about what's going on here. We see our crew member 7, Sarah Knights, who's coming out of the capsule there. She has helped load our crew into the capsule, has done just a double check, making sure those seatbelts are nice and tight, as well as make sure that the earpieces and everything are set for our astronauts. I should note, just as we give kind of we got this beautiful aerial shots this morning of the rocket. We have these sunshades you see on at the top of the capsule, that kind of white square. We've got one there in the foreground, and coming around you'll see another one on the back. Those windows are so large that it can kind of act like a greenhouse in there, and especially down here in the West Texas desert, it can get a bit toasty in there. So we've got some nice sunshade for their comfort.
And I love that we can see some of the crewmates inside the capsule as they're getting strapped in. I think you could see Lauren Sanchez right to the left of the hatch right there from that camera shot. So pretty cool that you can see them this close to lifting off. Ariane, I have to say,
on my break in, we got
experience.
Jeff Bezos here.
Yep.
I'm so excited for you. I don't want to get off. I want to go with you. And when you get back, I can't wait to hear how it's changed you. I love all of you. See you soon. Godspeed. Gradatum ferociter.
And there you heard it. Some words of support from Jeff Bezos, founder of Blue Origin, also astronaut himself from our first launch. So, of course, Lauren Sanchez is Jeff's fiance, one of her supporters. But as we mentioned before, we've got lots of friends and family that are supporting the rest of the astronauts here. They are out at the viewing tower. Let's turn it over to Tabitha. Tabitha, have you had a chance to chat with some of the family members out there?
A lot of friends and family have come out here, and it is an exciting vibe. I am standing by with two women who need no introduction. And Chris, I have to start with you. What is it like to be here, and what brought you all the way out here to this launch?
Well, Lauren and Jeff, we're here to support our girlfriend and our friends, and I never thought that we'd be talking to you from a space launch. For sure. So this is a really unique experience, and we're just so honored to be here to support them and watch this amazing part of history. And I'm so proud of her. And I just feel like
all of the female astronauts that are going to go up today. It's such a big day in history, and it's so empowering, especially my daughter is 7, and just to see something like this. And I mean, somebody said their grandfather was here that's 92, that they didn't even have transportation back then the way that we do now, and now they're going to space.
It's pretty amazing. That's Aisha's grandfather. 92 came all the way here.
That's where the story. I was like, I heard this story, and he had no airplanes, nothing back in his day. Now he's seeing his granddaughter go into space. That's a beautiful thing.
Really incredible.
And how does it feel also to be able to share this with multi-generations within your family?
It's really something. It's just Kim keeps writing us because she was supposed to be here with us, and she's studying for law school, so she had a big test that she had to take. Again, something I'm very proud of, but she just keeps calling, going, I have such FOMO, tell me every minute of it. So it's very inspirational, and just super proud of the girls, every one of them. And it's a very brave thing to do, and I think it also just says something, like Chloe said, to my 13 grandchildren. Yeah.
And what can you say to that too, for your children?
Oh, I just think it's really whatever you dream of is in our reach, especially in today's day and age. And dream big, wish for the stars, and one day you can maybe be amongst them.
That's so beautiful. And just before I send it back, any last messages to the astronauts before they take off?
I think just great luck. Be present. I mean, I'm so excited. I love the messaging that we keep receiving from the staff here at Blue Origin is don't film it through your phones. Look through your eyes. Be as present as possible. They will supply all the content that we need and to give to our families. But I love just being in the moment.
Yeah, same.
And we're going to...
Excited.
Yeah, we're so excited. We're going to be in the moment, too, here. We're going to send it back to you guys at the desk, and we're going to start watching.
Love you, ladies. Good luck.
Bye.
We had no idea that Chris and Chloe were going to be here, and we're about to be interviewed by Tabitha. So that was a nice little treat. They sure looked the part, you know.
Oh, they're ready for their day out here in Texas. I love it.
Yeah, and you know, for those of you watching, we're really in the middle of the desert. We're a solid 2-hour drive from El Paso. And as you were saying yesterday, Ariane, you know, you really get the sense like you start in El Paso and the more you get out here, you do start to feel like you're on another planet. I mean, it's got quite a moonscape, Marscape vibe. And our guests that are here today, as we just saw in Chris and Chloe, are dressing the part.
Well, so let's bring it back to the real stars of the show, our astronauts. And one of our astronauts that we haven't heard from yet is Gayle King. She has obviously a lot of emotions going into this flight. Let's hear what she has to say from this interview with Tabitha Limkin just a couple of days ago.
When I made the decision to come, there were only 3 people whose opinion matters to me the most. Favorite daughter Kirby, favorite son Will, and Oprah. That's my kitchen cabinet. And all of them said, I think you should do it. All of them, much to my surprise, including Oprah. I really thought she was going to say, nope, I don't think you should do it.
And she was like, do it.
She said, I really think you should do it because you've been talking about it. And when it comes back and you're not on it, you're going to be kicking yourself saying, I could have gone and I didn't. And I don't want to have to hear about it for the next few years. And, you know, I think everybody in this group is a storyteller and explore. And to be able to take this message and tell other people what it was like from our different perspectives, I think is very significant.
Do you have a message for the kids watching?
You should always know that no dream is too big. You know, we have someone, Aisha, who was told when she was a kid, your dreams are too big, you need to dream smaller. No child should ever be told that. And so I want people to know no dream is too big. And also, LL Cool J said this to me once, dreams don't have deadlines. Isn't that good?
That is real good.
Dreams don't have deadlines. I've never forgotten that he said that, and I believe that as well.
What are you taking up with you?
Oh, I have a bunch of stuff. I have Luca. I wanted one of his favorite toys, so I have a Sesame Street character called Tamir. Tamir is this little black boy with great curly hair, so Tamir gets to go to space. I have a wooden cross that you can hold in your hands. It fits like in 3 prongs. And a stranger came up to me at the airport. She said, I always hear you talk about being a nervous flyer, and I wanted you to have this. And so if you're ever on a flight and you feel nervous, take it out and hold it. So whenever I'm flying, I have this with me.
Also, I just noticed, what is this on your wrist?
So Jared, who's one of our jib operators at CBS Morning, his daughter, Denise, who's 7, made this for me. And she came into my makeup room and said, I made this for you. Someone else gave me astronaut era.
That's pretty great.
Space sister, Amanda just gave me this. I mean, so I feel that I feel I'm pretty well protected.
Absolutely.
I will say this, as excited as I am, I'll be very glad when we come back down. I will be very, very, very glad about that.
Well, clearly we heard Gayle there and prior to coming down here in Texas, nervous and excited at the same time, but one of the things I like about this is that she just makes it real, you know? Regardless of who you are, this is a nerve-wracking experience, and the fact that she's so authentic about it, but also, more so, she is stepping so far out of her comfort zone. I think that in its own right is extraordinarily inspirational.
I think most people would feel the way that Gayle is feeling right about now. If you're about to launch into space. You know, one of the things that I find so refreshing is that back in the early days of human spaceflight, you had the Mercury astronauts, and they were all white male military test pilots, and they all had to have the right stuff. You could never talk about nerves or being nervous or your feelings or stuff like that. That was the wrong stuff. But now, in 2025, it is the right stuff to be like Gayle King and talk about those concerns and fears and excitement that you have before launching into space like that. And that really shows you just how much the human spaceflight experience has changed over the last half century or so. And that really is what today is all about. I know there are some people watching this or who have heard about this who are thinking, why should I care about people going into space, Katy Perry, a famous pop star. Why should I care about that? And the reason is, it's missions like this that really begin the process of opening up space to everyone, for all of humanity. That's what today is about.
And I think we have to, it's not just about today. Today is very, very important, but I think also one of the reasons that I love working at Blue Origin is we think in very long time scales. Right, I honestly feel like I'm working at a company that will be here in at least 100 years, and that's how we think about spaceflight. Oh my gosh, look at that cute little kid. She is ready to go to space too. Aww. I absolutely adore that. But we need to be here precisely for kids like that. You cannot. I am a firm believer that you cannot be it if you can't see it, and that's what this flight is for. It's about inspiring women. Talk about inspirational women. Several female astronauts in that group right there. How many astronauts do we have there? I see
4 or 5.
At least 4 or 5 and counting. It's a tight group that's only going to get bigger of those female astronauts there. You see Kelly Girardi and Cyan Proctor. I see Emily Calandrelli, Sarisha Bandla. I mean, just an incredible group of women that have gone to space already. And after today, in just 15 minutes, we are going to be adding 6 more to that group.
It's getting close, Ariane.
It is getting close. So with that. Thank you again, everybody, for joining us for NS-31, our 11th mission, human spaceflight mission to space here. We are at T-minus 14 minutes and 30 seconds. Just to give you a little bit of a preview of what is to come, at about T-minus 10 minutes, we are going to have the go, no-go poll. We're going to throw it back to mission control audio. And basically what that is we go through each of the important subsystems, and our flight director, shout out to Michelle Christensen, our flight director, our first female flight director at Blue Origin. She is going to lead that poll, and we're going to go to each one of the groups and say, are you ready to go for this flight? Is your subsystem ready to go for this flight or not? And they will go around the room, and with the final go, no, go, it will be game time here in West Texas for this launch. Look at that. Now, this child is a little younger than you were when your parents went to space.
A little bit older.
Oh, excuse me, a little older, pardon me.
Because I was just 15 months old when my mom flew in space. And, I think about what it must have been like for her to be a first-time mom and training for her first space flight all in 1 year. And she was a part of NASA's original first 6 women astronauts alongside Sally Ride. Of course, it took them, those first 6 female NASA astronauts, 2.5 years for all of them to fly into space. Now, today, Blue Origin is going to send 6 women into space in a single day. I mean, that's pretty cool right there.
Incredible perspective. Also, was your mom just 6 months? You were just 6 months old when she started training?
She was assigned to her first space flight when she was 8 months pregnant with me. Can you imagine?
God, I have a 6-month-old. I can barely fly down to West Texas from Seattle.
She gave birth to me on a Friday and was back in the astronaut office on Monday. I don't recommend doing that. As a mom of 2 myself, you're a mom of 2, I probably wouldn't do that. But
respect.
She did,
Respect, that's huge.
But I've asked her, I'm like, why did you do that? And she said, because I felt I had to prove something. I felt that I had to, pave a trail for women to come. And so as I'm sitting here today, I'm thinking a lot about what she did, the sacrifices she made to make what's happening today. Again, it's not normal. Human spaceflight will never be normal or routine, but this is the beginning of making this kind of travel. We got 4 moms on board, a grandmother, making these types of people going into space very routine.
Now, talking a little bit about that, getting back a little bit into the flight profile and what they're going to feel as part of this now routine flight. So the 6 astronauts are currently in the capsule right now, all strapped in, ready to go. Their audio is working. We are waiting for the T-10 here for the go, no go poll. At T-0, you guys are going to, all of us will hear the pop. That's the ignition of the BE-3 engine. It holds down the rocket for about 5, 6, 7 seconds. Inside the capsule, they'll start to see the glow of the flame, and then they will lift off. They will take off. They are in a somewhat reclined seat, and they'll start to feel the G-forces on their body. And so kind of like sitting in a car that's accelerating, it pushes you back against the seat. That's the same here, except they're going up. They will accelerate to they'll have 3 Gs. So here on Earth, we're at 1 G. When you accelerate to 3 Gs, so like if you're 100 pounds, it feels like you are then 300 pounds. But Kristen,
crazy.
It's crazy. But in that reclined position, it's dispersed across your body.
Bad.
It's not as bad. It kind of feels like a weighted blanket. And then it
nice
eases
and cozy.
up. It's nice and cozy as it gets nice and dark.
I'll take a weighted blanket right about now.
But they're not. Don't worry, it's going to get nice and dark, but there's no sleeping on this. They are going to have the most incredible view out of those windows. The capsule will separate from the booster. That's when they're going to feel weightlessness. They'll get the about 4 minutes to unbuckle, enjoy the weightlessness, enjoy the insane views out of those windows. They'll buckle back in, come back through the atmosphere. That's actually when they're going to have the peak G-forces. They peak at about 5 Gs.
Which is kind of counterintuitive. You wouldn't think that you would feel the max G-forces on the descent, but that's when you do.
But that's when you do, and it's kind of like, because you're coming back through the atmosphere, right? It's thin up there. You come back through the atmosphere. It's thick. It's kind of like diving into a pool. It kind of goes boosh against you at 5 Gs, but then it eases back up. And we deploy the parachutes, and they come floating down at about 10 to 15 miles per hour for a nice soft landing here in the desert. At the last second, there's an air cushion that comes out.
Go. Booster.
Here's go no go pole.
Go. Ground. Go. Inco.
Go.
Safety. Go. Capcom. Go. Engineering. Go. This is the flight director. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence terminal count.
Protocol flight.
Yeah, baby. Go for launch. My favorite words.
It's getting real. T-minus 8 minutes and 51 seconds.
Until our 11th human space flight, the first all-female crew flight to space. All 6 of our astronauts are loaded in the capsule, waiting for just 8 minutes and 30 seconds to go here. Now, Kristen, we just kind of walked through the flight profile, what it's going to feel like for our astronauts. Oh, we got Carissa up on the tower to chat with more friends and family. Carissa, who you got out there?
I don't need to introduce the incredible woman. I don't need to introduce the incredible woman next to me, who is a ray of sunshine. Oprah, you are wearing yellow because Gail's call sign is
sunshine. Yes, right. And all of us, the whole family is wearing yellow today. And I you know, we've been friends. It'll be 50 years next year. We've been friends since we were 21 and 22. And I have never been more proud of my friend than today. Never been more proud, because this is bigger than just going to space. I mean, I think for her, who anytime we're on a flight, she's in anybody's lap if there's the slightest bit of turbulence, has like real anxiety flying. And this is overcoming a wall of fear, a barrier. I think it's going to be cathartic in so many ways for her.
She told us that she was surprised that you told her to do it. Why did you want her to do this?
Because I think life is about continuing to grow into the best of yourself. and the fullest expression of yourself. And I think that this is one of the most fullest expressions you can possibly have. And I know that I felt deeply that she would regret it. And I didn't want to hear about it for the next 15 years. I wish I had gone, you know, and I said, there's only one time that all the women are going up for the first time. You know, there will be other trips, but there's only one first time.
Incredible.
So to be a pioneer is great.
What was the last conversation you had with her?
I said, peace be still. Hold the God's unchanging hand. He's got your back. That's it. That's it.
I know that we're counting down here. We're getting excited for that go for launch moment. How are you feeling as her best friend?
I feel so calm. I don't think I've ever been more calm because I think it's already done. Once she said yes, once she committed to yes, and Lord, did we all hear, should I do it? Should I do it? Since Thanksgiving, we've been talking about it. And so once she finally said yes, I was like, okay, we're going. It's a go.
You know what I have loved is her vulnerability, because she's the voice of a lot of us that would be afraid, and she's okay to talk about being afraid. Why has that been so important to show that part?
I think, you know, for every woman who's on this flight, it's about fulfilling something within themselves. For Gail, it's about overcoming this great fear and also stepping into the moment of excitement. And I think, you know, it goes beyond this moment of just going up in space. I think this will be an everlasting experience. I was just thinking this morning, you know, Gail has been there for me for hundreds of events. I can't even remember them, you know. But you will never forget this day. None of us will ever forget this day.
Well, thank you for being here, for her, for us. I mean, this is just, it's a historic day, and it's only fitting that you are here front and center as a ray of sunshine that you are, Miss Oprah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
No time.
You're next, you know. I'll send it back to you, Ariane.
Thanks, Carissa. Wow, to see Oprah down here. No, I'm not besties with Oprah, not yet anyway, but if Oprah told me to do anything, I would do it. I don't think Gail had a choice after Oprah said, girl, you got to do this.
She had to do it. Ariane, we are under T-minus 5 minutes until these ladies hopefully launch into space. And, you know, you were just talking about what these women are going to feel when they launch. But let me tell y'all watching what we may hear, because we have one of the most famous singers on the planet on board, and there is a chance that we will get to hear the audio inside and hear what these soon-to-be astronauts are saying and possibly singing while they're weightless. So
I can't wait for that moment. I'm also hoping she comes down to Earth and does like either a Fireworks Part 2 or E.T. Part 2. I think that's going to be, and I think, but let's stick on this point for 1 second, Kristen. I think one of the incredible parts about this crew is their ability to tell the story coming out of this in their own unique way. The way Gail can go on TV and talk about it. Amanda can go and continue to advocate for women more broadly about it. The way Katy can sing about it, etc. The way Carrie Ann can produce films about it. That is what is so special about this crew in particular.
And that is what's so special about this new era of spaceflight. This is not NASA. This is not governments. It's not the U.S., China, or Russia. This is the commercial era. These are private companies, and this is Blue Origin sending the first all-female crew into space since 1963. And this is all going to happen so fast in just a few minutes, about 10 or 11 minutes from launch to landing. And don't worry, guys, I did the math. In case you're wondering, total duration of this mission is just about 3 Katy Perry fireworks songs. So play that song 3 times. That's how long this mission's going to be.
Fantastic. Well, so at T-minus 3 minutes to go until our 31st launch of New Shepard, our 11th human space flight. Just to tell you what's coming up here. At T-minus 2 minutes, we send the show over to the vehicle. It goes into autonomous mode.
Command engine controller ready to start.
We have our team, of course, in mission control that have their eyes glued to the screen there. There you goes, mission control, quiet and intense.
Pop sensation Katy Perry and journalist Gayle King. They'll be traveling at more than 3 times the speed of sound aboard Blue Origin's fully reusable New Shepard rocket. Founded by billionaire Jeff Bezos, Blue Origin is one of the major players in the growing commercial space tourism industry. NBC News correspondent Priscilla Thompson is at the launch site in Van Horn, Texas, We also have Dr. Emily Rice. She's an associate professor of astrophysics at Macaulay Honors College at the City University of New York. Good morning to you both. So glad to have you here for this exciting time. And Priscilla, let's start with you. What is going on aboard that rocket right now?
Yeah, lots of excitement happening here. We heard them say everything is all a go just a few minutes ago. And so right now you've got all 6 of those women inside the capsule preparing for that liftoff, which is expected to come in just about 2 minutes at this point. And what we know is going to happen is that the rocket will lift off about a little over a minute in. That is going to be what's called max Q, when the maximum pressure is on the rocket, on the capsule, and then that rocket is going to separate from the capsule. The rocket is going to come back down to Earth about 2.5 minutes in, and that capsule is going to continue to soar with those 6 women on board. That's when they are going to cross that Kármán line and reach that boundary of space. They're going to see those sweeping views of Earth, and they're also going to get to experience those 4 minutes of weightlessness. And so all of that is about to take place in just a short while, and then hopefully they will make their way back down onto the ground after that 11-minute ride of a lifetime. Stephen?
11 minutes seems so fast. I know they will enjoy this, though. Professor Rice, this is going to cross the boundary into space. As Priscilla told us, they're going to experience weightlessness. What is that going to be like? What will it actually be like inside that capsule?
I have no idea, honestly. Hopefully it's a nice, smooth ride. It's really free fall. I want to point out that this is, even though this is, we've been calling it space tourism, like they are going up on a rocket, and this weightlessness, like they're just outside of how NASA defines the Earth's atmosphere, but at the same time, they're weightless because they will be in free fall for those 3 to 4 minutes. I hope they're not going to get sick. I hope they're going to be kind of stable enough and smooth enough to enjoy it. It's definitely going to be very exciting for them.
Yeah, I guess it's hard to know unless you've actually done it. All right, let's listen in now as we approach launch.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1, ignition. Liftoff. New Shepard has cleared the tower. Flight. 6,000 feet climbing. Again, throttle down for Q limiting. Engine response looks good. Max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. Mach 1, vehicle is supersonic. Engine back up to full throttle.
Supersonic. We have passed through max Q, maximum dynamic pressure. That's when the vehicle, the stresses between the atmosphere and the speed are at their maximum. So to punch through that is so important. You see the BE3 engines is firing beautifully. You see the stream of steam behind it. Those ladies right now are having an incredible view on their way to space. Passing through 80,000 feet, 1,300 miles per hour. You're going to peak at about 2,300 miles an hour over Mach 3, 3 times the speed of sound. Shortly coming up, we'll have MECO, main engine cutoff. We will turn off the engine, but the 2 craft, the capsule and the booster, will continue their ascent to space.
Stand by, MECO.
And there you saw the main engine is turned off. We're now going to separate the capsule from the booster. And at that point, Kristen, that's when all 6 astronauts are going to start to feel the weightlessness. And shortly thereafter, we're going to let them unbuckle.
And that right there is the most critical milestone of this whole ascent. Oprah watching her best friend go to space.
And the 2 craft is separated.
Put it up there. Put it up there.
328,000 feet, 100 kilometers. Welcome to space, ladies, or shall I say, astronauts.
Oh, the moon, you guys. I will have to
Priscilla,
look at the moon.
what's going on right now?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, so a lot of excitement right now. You can hear some of that because the booster separated successfully from the capsule. That's perhaps the most complicated part in all of this. So that booster is now making its way back to the launch pad on the ground as that capsule continues to soar with those 6 women on board. And so they are preparing to experience that weightlessness and all of those amazing moments that happen as they reach the Kármán line, the boundary of space there before they make their way down. And right now we're at 9:35, so they're just about halfway through this incredible journey.
Incredible about how fast that actually goes. And Priscilla, I know that Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos' fiance, actually chose this crew. It's so bizarre to think about that Gayle King and Katy Perry are on board a spaceship going up to the edge of space right now. We saw Oprah getting emotional about it just a few moments ago. How do we know how Sanchez chose this crew to go with her?
Yeah, so a hand-picked crew that didn't know very much of each other beforehand. But Lauren Sanchez said that it was Jeff Bezos, and they were talking about explorers and the fact that we don't often think about women as explorers, but that women are explorers. And so Sanchez said that she wanted to pick 5 additional women beyond herself who were explorers. And so she chose, obviously, pop icon Katy Perry, journalist Gayle King, as you noted, her best friend Oprah on the ground, visibly emotional, crying tears as that capsule separated and they were officially on their way into space. But there's also a producer, Carrie Ann Flynn, and 2 scientists, Aisha Bowe and Amanda Wynn. Both of them are going to be taking science experiments up with them, so trying to do some research on this flight. And I should note that Amanda Wynn, now that she is in space, has become the first Vietnamese woman ever to be in space. So a historic day here indeed, Stephen.
Incredible history to witness. Dr. Rice, let's bring you in here. What are your thoughts as you see this, the history we're making, 61 years since the last all-female mission that we talked about? That was just 1 woman. Now we've got 6.
Yeah, from 1 to 6, this is super, super exciting. That first one back in 1963 was Valentina Tereshkova, the second person in space, the first woman in space. She was in orbit, so she went higher than this. She stayed in longer than this. She was in orbit for nearly 3 days. And then she parachuted out of her capsule as well. That's one of the reasons that she was chosen to be an astronaut is because of her skydiving experience. So this, maybe a little bit less training for these 6 new women astronauts, but this is still very exciting.
Priscilla, we can see a different shot of the capsule now, or this is not the capsule? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so that is the booster that's separated from the capsule. So that is successfully coming down. It should be hitting the ground any second here. And so that means that we're about 7.5 minutes into this. That's around the time when this booster was supposed to make its landing. And so that's what we're seeing on the ground here. We just heard a big boom as that fire came out from underneath that. But and meanwhile, you have those 6 ladies still in the capsule, still in space right now, likely having all of those experiences of the weightlessness, hopefully beginning to see Earth. And you see all of that dust that's coming up. What's really interesting here is that they don't land in water. So even when the capsule comes back down, it's going to land on Earth. And so we're going to see that dust up again. But these are all good signs of a successful mission so far, it appears.
Live pictures of that happening as you speak, Priscilla. Incredible to see that booster come back down for that landing after separating from the capsule, all in just such a short amount of time. And you mentioned the capsule is still up there with the 6 women on board. Do we know, are they making their descent yet?
So I think we may be a little bit ahead of the stream, but we do see a parachute in the sky here, which means that it is coming down. 3 parachutes on there. So the capsule is making its way down. So far, it's looking like a very successful mission. And of course, there it is. I think we've got it there. And so it's going to land in the dust, similar to we saw with that booster. And then we expect to see these 6 ladies emerge, often a very emotional moment, given the journey that they have just experienced. And they've gone through a lot of training to get here. Well, 2 days of training to get here, I should say, learning how to get in and out of their seat belts and be able to experience the weightlessness and all the things that they needed to be able to do up there. And you hear the cheers as their friends and family are watching this capsule descend slowly. It should be on the ground any minute now. And of course, just awaiting those incredible images to come of them getting out and being back on Earth after quite a journey.
Just a couple days of training, but as we were hearing Oprah say, that it was a long decision in the making for Gayle King in particular. Dr. Rice, I'm curious, as a woman in the STEM field, in astrophysics, seeing this happen, what impact do you think this could have on young people watching this history unfold?
I think this is going to have a huge impact. Just this mission with 6 different women on board, bringing 6 different backgrounds, 6 different areas of expertise, and even more than that between the 6 of them. And then, like Priscilla said, 6 different ways to tell their stories when they come back. It's an experience that will last a lifetime for these women and will have huge ripple effects for their children, for their grandchildren. My daughter's outside. Watching me do this interview, it's just phenomenal.
You can feel the world watching this happen, this history in the making. Dr. Rice, being a woman in STEM yourself and watching this unfold, this history before us, I'm curious, what does this mean to you personally?
This is just amazing. Honestly, I'm a nervous flyer like Gayle King is. And so hearing her say that, and hearing Oprah describe that, I'm like, okay, maybe if I got the chance, maybe I would say yes. I would never, before I hadn't said that. I've told my students very often, like, nope, I'll watch it, I'll explain it, I'll help you learn about it. There they are, touching down. It's just amazing. But as more and more people go up, it's like, why not? If I had the chance, maybe I would say yes now.
Right, that is incredible. Priscilla, bringing you back in here now. What happens now? We saw that it looks like a safe, successful touchdown. What's going to happen next?
Yeah, a safe, successful touchdown. You saw all of that dust sort of float up as it officially hit the ground. So we should be seeing these women getting out of the capsule. I don't know if we're going to get that live or not, but obviously a very emotional moment for them after what they have just experienced. Just a historic mission in itself, being this all-female crew, the likes of which we have not seen since the first woman went up in space in the 60s. And now here they are. They have done it. They have come back down. And as noted, just like 6 different stories here. And I really think about Amanda Nguyen as the first Vietnamese astronaut or a Vietnamese person in space. And she talked about when her family came over from Vietnam on boats and that they were looking up in the sky in Vietnam and seeing bombs going off. And that today people would be able to look up in the sky and see the first Vietnamese woman in space. And so just a really big moment for all of them on board, and really excited to see, cannot wait great to see those images and moments when they get off. You know, we often see folks crying and just very emotional and talking about how much bigger just the planet and the world and the way in which we occupy it feels after you have this experience of going up to space. And so I'm sure we're going to hear a lot from them. They're going to be holding a press conference a little while after they get off, but it looks like we might be able to get those images of them getting out and all of the emotion that will come with that.
Yeah, it seems like on the right side, we may be seeing images of a dash cam, maybe heading to that capsule right now. We're trying to look inside the windows to see what we can make out. Not exactly clear right now, but hopefully they will emerge soon. It just got goosebumps when your description of Amanda Wynn's description of her journey and really reiterating these 6 different stories that we're going to be able to hear. We've heard so many people who talk about after they have an experience in space, seeing the world from above, the sense of unity they have, sort of an out-of-body experience. And we'll certainly be able to hear from an artist like Katy Perry put that into words, as well as Gayle King, a journalist, to put that into words, what that experience actually is like. You mentioned the people
and
watching.
Stephen, too.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, Katy Perry also mentioned that she might be releasing like a set list for her next concert or possibly singing a song up there. So it's going to be really interesting to see the footage once they release it of what actually happened when they went into space and during those 4 minutes where they were floating, because it could be some pretty interesting clips coming out of that as well.
It sounds like the beginning of a joke, honestly. Katy Perry, Gayle King hopping on a spaceship and she's singing up there. It sounds hard to wrap your mind around. So definitely going to keep our eye out for that one. We also see on the right side of our screen, off and on, we're seeing this from their mission control, changing these video feeds. People are there clearly watching. Are they far back away from the capsule right now? It's hard to get a scope of the distance.
Yeah, so I will say we're quite far away from the capsule, so I don't necessarily have a great sense of that. But I know that as these women were sort of leaving the facility where they were staying and traveling over to the launch site, the road was lined with people who were cheering them on, waving at them, giving them high fives. And so I imagine they have them somewhere housed just a little closer than where we are, but perhaps not so close. But, you know, we'll see once they get out if there are family and friends that are able to run up to them. We'll have a sense of how close they are. But you mentioned kind of like the cast of characters that is on this journey, all of these very accomplished women. And, you know, Mae Jemison, the first Black woman to go to space, was talking about this earlier and why this historic mission matters and all of these women going up matters. And she said that it matters because of regardless who they are, it's expanding the idea of who gets to go to space and who can go to space. And I think that's just a really big thing also to highlight here as we talk about the history that's being made today.
Dr. Rice, I asked you earlier what they were going to be experiencing, and you said you haven't been to space, so you don't know. What would you ask them once they emerge if you could ask them some questions?
I would ask them how they're feeling now. One of the things that I love about these Blue Origin missions is the different types of people that get to go into space and experience space because of this. This is fun. People like William Shatner, people like Wally Lamb, who was one of the original Mercury 13 women who trained as astronauts but never did get to go into space. And so I would like how does the cosmic overview effect, the cosmic perspective change the way that you've experienced the world now? And I think that's going to be a big thing for all 6 of these women. William Shatner had one of the most different reactions, I think. He experienced grief and sadness, he said, when he saw the Earth from space and how fragile it is and how fragile that onion skin of our atmosphere is. So I'd be really excited to see how these 6 women are going to have changed after this flight.
That is an excellent point. Everyone's experience is different. We see now the ground crew has made their way to the capsule, hopefully opening that door any second now. We'll be able to see the crew of 6, all 6 women on board this history-making space flight. We're keeping our eye on those cameras as they, I'm sure, have to unbolt and open those doors. Dr. Rice, I wanted to ask you, people have criticized these types of space tourism flights, saying that they sort of detract from exploration. It's just for people with a lot of money to be able to go to space. Is there room in this for exploration, for scientific discovery?
I think that's absolutely true, that there is room for scientific discovery, even in these short flights. In particular for this one, Aisha Bowe is a former NASA rocket scientist, and she has facilitated some scientific experiments on this flight. One of them that I'm really excited about is from Winston-Salem State University, so a student-led project on astrobotany. So they took some plants into microgravity, into the weightlessness, from what I can tell, and they're going to study molecular changes in the plants back in the laboratory. And so this is the type of thing, NASA has a lot of funding for scientific research as well as for human space exploration. A lot of that goes to students and to kind of basic research. But when there's private partnerships like this, we can expand the offerings and the availability and the opportunities, especially for students, which is wonderful.
We're watching a replay of what happened moments ago whenever this all began, a very quick trip. So many people that I've talked to who have been, who worked for NASA or who want to work for NASA, there's some moment that sparked that curiosity for them, be that science fiction or watching actual shuttle missions take place. And no doubt there are young people across the United States and the world watching this right now who may be getting an idea that maybe this is something they would like to one day do. And that is also thrilling to think about. Continuing our live look now, the left side of our screen, the capsule holding those 6 women. Now, this was the right side of the screen. This is the ground crew that is approaching that capsule that will hopefully soon open that hatch, and we will see the 6 women emerge. Priscilla, do you have an idea of what's going on right now, what the process will be for opening that up and what happens next?
Yeah, so it looks like they're just kind of getting all the crews in place, and they should be opening it up soon and getting them all unbuckled and out. I know that they do have contact with mission control, so someone is talking to them as they're inside that capsule working their way through the next couple of steps. And of course, they train for this. Granted, it was only about 14 hours of training, so I think over the course of 2 days, but they spent a lot of time getting in and out of this capsule, learning how to strap in and strap and get out of these harnesses, and rehearsing the mission and also emergency procedures in case those were needed. So it should be a pretty smooth process. But to pick up on a point that you made, I think all of these women have talked about how this mission is so much bigger than them, that it is about the future generations and the young women who are watching. Katy Perry even got emotional as she was talking about her 4-year-old daughter and talking to her about how she was going to be going to space and just what this moment means for so many people at home who are watching all of this. Amanda Nguyen also, she is a survivor of sexual assault, and she said that she hopes when other survivors see her up there, they know that there is healing in this journey and that they'll make it through. And so a lot of this is just so much bigger than just going to space for so many of these women, but it's science, it's representation. I mean, it's also just giving people hope and belief. And so really, really excited to see them get out of this capsule. Lots of anticipation for that moment, and just to hear what they're going to say about their experience and what they're going to say about what it means in the larger context of just where we are with the space race, and with them being able to represent for women from all of these different diverse backgrounds. And so it will be a very, very exciting moment. It looks like there are some folks really close to the capsule, so possibly a photographer there. So maybe that means that they are getting ready to make that exit any moment now.
Yeah, our eyes are trained on that. I know, just like yours are, Priscilla, trying to see exactly what is happening as that door hopefully will open up any second. Keeping our eye on it here.
And my producer was actually just telling me that when they do open the capsule, they will be greeted by family and friends that each of them has chosen to join them at the entry site. So that is likely what we'll see. So I think some of those folks are probably being transported over there so that they could be there for that moment, and to just comfort and hug and love on them as they get out of that capsule and experience the whole array of emotions being back on Earth.
Yes, and you mentioned friends and family. We see Jeff Bezos there at the door of the capsule, there to greet his fiancée, Lauren Sanchez, no doubt. I'm really hoping to see Oprah run up and hug Gayle King, because that's incredible. More history.
You and me both, Stephen.
So our eyes trained on that door. Looks like they have some steps outside of the door as well. It looks like they're talking to the people inside. We see the camera crews getting in place. You mentioned the photographer, of course, wanting to capture this historic moment of their safe touchdown back on Earth from this Blue Origin mission. And so, as you mentioned, the anticipation builds. We want to first see them and then hear what they have to say. Priscilla, the more you say about Amanda Wynn, the more I want to hear from her. Just an incredible perspective, a survivor, and just an incredibly inspirational person. The first Vietnamese woman to go to space. Just a long list of achievements. So can't wait to hear from her as well.
Yeah, very excited to hear from her. And we are obviously seeing some movement in there. So it seems like they may be out of the belts. So hopefully just lining up so that they could each have their moment to come out and get all of those hugs and things from family. Looks like they're adjusting those steps because, as you said, there are steps there. They actually had a replica capsule set up for us. So we were able to see there are steps that you climb up to get in, and then the 6 seats that are around that border the exterior of the capsule. So I think once they have that all set up, but you see Jeff Bezos giving the wave there. So I think they're up and probably excited to come out as well and share their journey.
To be a fly on the wall in there and hear what they are all saying to each other, that would be incredible. Maybe Katy Perry's in there singing. We don't quite know. I'm sure we will hear about that if that's the case.
Yes.
See, I do still see movement inside. I'm not sure from your vantage point if you're able to see, are there more people approaching that capsule?
Not from the vantage point we can see. I mean, it looked to me like they had kind of cleared out the space, like they were ready to bring them out and let them have their moment with family. So I'm not sure what they are waiting on. And I've been watching their Twitter eagerly. They just tweeted out some stats about what happened, but all right, is it happening?
All right, we're watching. Looks like
I think it is.
Bezos is approaching the door, opening it up.
We hear cheers.
There it is. The door is open. Let's see who's emerging first.
There's Lauren Sanchez.
Lauren Sanchez hugging her fiancé Jeff Bezos there after this successful space flight.
Where are my babies? Go over there. Go see them. Where? I have to go there. Okay.
Katy Perry.
There's Katy Perry, yes.
Katy.
Oh, kissed the ground, Katy Perry did. Happy to be back on Earth.
Thank you.
I believe that's Amanda Wynn, who you were telling us about, Priscilla. Clearly emotional from that historic space flight.
Aisha Bowe. And got 2 more.
I just have to have a moment at the ground.
And Gail, happy to be back on the ground.
Very happy. That's our second kiss of the ground, if you were counting at home.
Oh my God. That was amazing. It was amazing. I'm so proud.
And last but not least, Carrie and Lynn.
Amazing. I'm so proud of you.
And they have all made it out safely.
Incredible to see. Those endorphins, if you'll forgive me for the pun, must be out of this world. Dr. Rice, what are your thoughts as we watch these women back on Earth?
This is just amazing. 6 new female astronauts to add to the list. I think we're getting up to about 108, I think, female astronauts, and 2 more black women astronauts, which is also wonderful. I believe they are number 7 and number 8 of black women who have gone to space. I think what Katy Perry might have been holding there, if you saw when she lifted up her hand when she came out of the capsule, I'm going to guess that it was a daisy for her daughter. So that I'm not sure that was part of the astrobotany experiment, but she might have taken a daisy to space for her daughter, and I'm here in tears, honestly.
Wow. Sentimentality, that would actually be it's an experiment all its own to have something, maybe not scientific, but certainly for that family bond. Priscilla, watching this, you entered the mock-up of the capsule, seeing this all unfold. I'm sure you've read into each of these women's stories as they make it back here on Earth. You mentioned Katy Perry thinking about her own child during all of this. What are your thoughts as we watch the end of this space flight?
Yeah, I mean, I think just such a moment for these women who are mothers and grandmothers, and also just successful women in their own right. And the idea that this wouldn't have been possible so many years ago, but now you have this boom in space flight and space tourism, as we call it, that is allowing for these things to happen. And to think about in 1963, the last time when that first woman went up into space solo, and here today you have 6 women who have successfully gone up, including the first Vietnamese woman, as we've been talking about. So just certainly a historic day and a moving day here for so many people.
Absolutely is. It's hard not to get emotional watching this whole event. The space flight taking just 11 minutes. It felt like it took longer for that door, the hatch to actually open and for them to emerge. But I cannot wait to hear all of their stories. Thank you both, Priscilla, Dr. Rice, for helping us as we understand what is going on and in the moment. We appreciate your expertise on this. And thank you all for watching.
Behind it all, every single time I make one of these videos, I lead with my heart. Truly anything can happen.
And now, Blake's on a mission to inspire the next generation.
I want to help kids with that, to know their worth, help them turn down the volume of all those negative thoughts and turn up the positive ones.
Encouraging millions to follow their heart and dance like everyone's watching.
When we get into just our heart, we're all little kids, and we just want to have fun. Turn on the music and dance, It's fun, and it can inspire the world.
And Blake says he's still seeing a ton of those videos online even now. Back to you.
Very cool. Love that. Hallie Jackson, thanks so much. And Celine Dion gets the props for that as well. Would not have been the same without her. That's going to do it for this hour of Morning News Now, but your news continues right now. Good Monday morning. I'm Stephen Romo in for Joe and Savannah today. And right now on Morning News Now, tech support.
What we didn't get to hear.
It was a feeling of joy and camaraderie. It was a feeling of gratefulness. It was a feeling that we're doing this. And, Alan Shepard, I told you about this, did this same exact flight. And he became the first American in space. And 6 women just did the same flight that...
Yeah.
He did it.
Oh, I just want to keep hugging you.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And I hope that more people get to see this because I feel I don't even know how much it's going to change me. And I want to thank the blue team. I mean, look at them. I mean, they work so hard to make sure this vehicle gets up and safe. And
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. It's one thing to say you're going to do it. It's another thing to actually do it. And I know there's a phrase in your family that life takes off on the other side of fear. And here you are, just having landed back on Earth. And now you are officially, Lauren Sanchez, already adding to your extensive resume, you are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very excited. I'm excited to share it with the world, and I'm so grateful to everyone here.
I love you. Go be with your family. But
to process and download what just happened to me.
Well, get on in here, Amanda. Someone that can now articulate exactly how Lauren is feeling. Lauren being so candid about overcome with emotion. How are you feeling? I know, Amanda, this has been a dream of yours, a long-awaited dream, and now it is finally official. You are an astronaut. Congratulations.
Thank you
you so much. I usually have nice words to say, but in this moment, I just want all survivors to know that you can heal. No dream is too wild, and that if it's so wild out there, like going to space, you can absolutely make it through, and it can absolutely be possible.
You mentioned to us prior to going up, you said that you needed to go to space to heal. I know you're only a few minutes removed from this incredible experience. Do you feel healed?
I had a zero-G indicator that I didn't know if I would bring, and I ended up bringing it.
And explain for the folks at home that don't know what that means, what it is that you're holding.
Yes, the zero-G indicator is something all astronauts have that floats once you hit space, lets you know you're there. I brought a promise that I wrote to myself. I've talked about that.
And share for what is this right here?
Yes, and this one I didn't know if I would bring, but I ended up bringing it and floating it, and it's the hospital band from the day. And I got to honor her today, and I'm so grateful to the thousands of people, the engineers, the scientists, just everyone who has made this a reality.
And you also have written here, I know that you had this on your laptop, right?
Yes, that's right. This is my zero-G indicator, a promise I made to myself that if I were to pause my astronaut dreams and fight for rights, that one day I would return to her.
And it says, never, never give up. Well, those dreams are no longer on hold. You are finally an astronaut. Congratulations. Enjoy this moment with your family, and thank you for sharing it with us. Thank you, Amanda. Carrie Ann, you said to me yesterday, you said, when I get out of that capsule, I'm going to be an emotional wreck. And I think what I will just say, for anyone that has never had the great privilege of being here, this is my first time at a launch, and it is very emotional. Describe, if you can, how you're feeling.
I have almost no words. It was the most incredible experience of my life to be up there and see such vast darkness in space and look down on our planet. The moon was so beautiful, and that was I felt like that was a special gift just for me. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize. Are you kidding? You just went to space. This is it.
Knowing that everyone I loved was standing down there looking back up at me, and I just hope that these types of experiences, clear a path for everyone to be able to do that.
You told us a beautiful story about your son when you told him you were going to go to space, and that, get over here so I can hold you, and that he went back to school and he was all excited to tell his friends that his mom was going to space, and they said, your mom can't go to space.
Moms don't go to space.
Well, guess what? This mom just went to space. Congratulations. You are officially an astronaut. And I know you're wearing a very special necklace from an incredible group of people that you hold near and dear to your heart. What would you like to say to them watching?
I'm wearing a few necklaces today. My dear friends threw me a blast-off party and gave me this feather, which obviously represents the Blue Origin logo. And it felt so special to have it close to my heart and in space with me. And I feel like it helped me take all of them with me on this journey.
Yes. Well, I will let you go enjoy this historic moment with your family, and thank you for sharing it with us. Congratulations. You're an astronaut. Gail, get on over. I'm still
floating. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it.
I'm so proud of you. And I know that I speak for the collective, because you have been so honest. You've been so vulnerable. And I spoke to your best friend prior to you taking off, and I asked her why it was so important for you to do this. And she said, so she didn't have to hear you say, I wish I would have done that.
That's so true.
But now, Gayle King, you are officially an astronaut. How do you feel?
I still can't accept that word, but I will say I can't even believe what I saw. When somebody calls this a ride, this was not a ride. What happened to us was not a ride. This was a bona fide freaking flight. And our instructor, we were so well prepared. So every noise we heard, we knew. But the flight instructor said, that I am her best success story. Why? Because she's never had somebody go through the course who's terrified of flying. Everybody who's gone through the course is somebody that it's been a lifelong dream. They wanted to do it. So she said, I'm her best success story. I'm so proud of me right now. I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
I was just going to say, prior to the launch, you said that you would be so proud of yourself if you went through with this. And you did. What was the best part, Gail?
It's oddly quiet when you get up there. It's really quiet and peaceful. And you look down at the planet and you think, that's where we came from? And to me, it's such a reminder about how we need to do better, be better. Do better, be better human beings.
And what do you mean by that?
Processing. Well, it's so nasty and so vitriolic nowadays. And I mean, if everybody could experience that peace that we had up there and the kindness and what it takes to do what we did, all the people that it took to get us up there and get us back safely, I'll never, ever, ever forget. And when we were up there, have you talked to Katy yet?
I have not.
Okay, when we were up there, after zero G is very difficult. You know, all the training about this is how you get in the chair and this. I look like a friggin' moose getting in the chair. It was like, just let me get in the chair. Let me get the seatbelt on. But, you know, we had a very do this.
How would you describe it?
It's very difficult because you're floating. But the best part was when we got back in our seats after zero G's, Katy sang "What a Wonderful World."
She did?
Come on. She sang "What a Wonderful World." I see dreams. Oh, yes. Because we'd been asking her to sing all the time, and she wouldn't. And then, because everybody said, sing roar, sing fireworks. And she said, it's not about me. I wanted to talk about the world.
Wow.
I know, isn't that nice? You got to ask her about that.
That's really special. And when Lauren got out, she was overcome by emotion for a lot of reasons, and rightfully so. But she spoke to the group and how close you guys have all become because of this experience. How would you describe the camaraderie that you guys now have together?
I would say that we are forever bonded, because you can't go through what we went through to look out for each other, to help each other, and not be changed by that. Yeah. You know, it really is a true. People throw the word around, but it really is a true sisterhood. Mm-hmm. But it speaks to how we were. You know what? We were set up for success. The training was so. I can't stress this enough. The training was so friggin' good. We were set up for success, and it went exactly as they told us it was going to. Every boom that you heard, the drones, the drogues coming out, the parachutes coming out, it went exactly as they said.
Are you glad you did it?
I am glad I did it.
Yeah.
I am glad I did it.
Yeah.
I am very glad. I have no regrets about doing it.
What would you say to people watching right now that are scared, that are fearful of anything? What would you say to them?
Well, I just said I'm stepping way out of my comfort zone, because this is so not like me. I said up there, I might now get my ears pierced. I've always been afraid.
Which is great. I love that you've never had your ears pierced.
No, even Hootie at the training center. You don't have your ears pierced? I go, because it hurts.
Oh, my gosh.
But I mean, for people that are afraid, Eleanor Roosevelt once said, courage is doing something that scares you, but you do it anyway. And I stepped out of my comfort zone in a way that I never thought was possible for me. Mm-hmm. And now that I've done it, I really do feel I can take on anything. Anything.
Congratulations, Gail King. You are an astronaut.
Thank you, Chris.
I am so excited for you. I'm so excited for you. And I'm going to go with you to get your ears pierced, because I want to get another hole right here. Go enjoy this with your family. Thank you so, so much. Aisha, oh my goodness. Congratulations. You are officially an astronaut. How do you feel? Also, how do you look perfect after just going to space? I mean, my goodness.
I will never be the same. I mean, when you get up there and you see the Earth, and it's so beautiful, and it just fills the screen, and it's not just your window, it's like everybody's window, and there's no boundaries, there's no border, there's just Earth. Wow. It's incredible.
You know, Gail is so honest that this wasn't her dream, but this was a dream of yours. How do you feel now that you just achieved it?
Like I picked the right dream. And when we landed, I said, Exuma, I'm good, blue calm, but I'm ready to go back.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
What was the best part for you?
The best part for me, actually the whole thing. But we got in and we counted down from 10. And then I started to hear some singing. And when we lifted off, everybody, you could just feel the energy in the capsule. And when we got up there and we got out of our seats, we all just looked at each other. And there was this moment, and I can't wait for people to see it on the video, but there was a very special moment between all of us. And it's just beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yes. Where is your grandfather? Your 92-year-old grandfather, who I know you were so excited to bring. What did he say to you when you got out of this capsule and got to see him for the first time?
He said, I was really worried for you, but then Oprah squeezed me.
Oprah has a way of making us all feel just a little bit more at home and a little bit calmer. I know your father is watching down on you, and he is your angel. What do you think he's thinking right now in heaven?
I think he was like, woo! To have the opportunity to have flown his star in my flight bag and to have a perspective that very few people get to have of Earth, I just feel a renewed connection to everything in life and where we are, and I can't wait to go back out there and pour what I've learned into the world.
You have given so much to so many, and I know there are a lot of people watching right now, some young boys and some young girls that are inspired constantly by you. What would you like to say to them?
Dream it, plan it, and go and do it. I never really thought I could go to space, although I really wanted to go. And today just confirmed that dreams are real, and sometimes reality is wrong.
Your dreams just came true. Congratulations. Go enjoy this with your family. Thank you for sharing your experience with us. Katie.
Crier of the group.
No, you're not the crier of the group.
Feeler of the group.
No, you are not.
I'm crier.
I'm going to tell you something right now. You are officially an astronaut.
Thank you so much.
How do you feel?
I feel super connected to love. So connected to love. I think this experience has shown me you never know how much love is inside of you, like how much love you have to give and how loved you are until the day you launch.
We had these incredible shots of Daisy watching you as the rocket, it'll make me cry, as the rocket's going up, and she was so proud. Just kept saying, Mommy, Mommy. And I know you'll feel the same way when you watch it. And you brought a real life Daisy up.
That's
it was
right.
important for you, not only because it's your daughter's name, but why else was that important to bring it?
Daisies are common flowers, but they grow through any condition. They go through cement, they go through cracks, they go through walls. They are resilient. They are powerful, they are strong, they are everywhere. Flowers are, to me, God's smile, but it's also a reminder of our beautiful earth and the flowers here and God's smile and the beautiful magic that is everywhere, all around us, and even in a simple daisy. So to really appreciate it and remember it and take care of it and protect it.
Gail shared with us the song that you sang when you got up there. What a wonderful world. Why was that important to sing that particular song?
I've covered that song in the past, and obviously, like, my higher self is always steering the ship because I had no clue that one day I would decide to sing a little bit of that in space. But I think that it's not about me. It's not about singing my songs. It's about a collective energy in there. It's about us. It's about making space for future women and taking up space and belonging. And it's about this wonderful world that we see right out there and appreciating it. This is all for the benefit of Earth.
You have done so many incredible things in your life, selling millions of records, selling out stadiums. Where does this experience rate for you?
This experience is second to being a mom. Wow. Yeah, that's it. That's why it was hard for me to go, because that's all my love right there. And I have to surrender and trust that the universe is going to take care of me and protect me, and also my family and my daughter. Because, like, I am full up from being able to get that gift of being a mom. And to go to space is incredible. And I wanted to model courage and worthiness. And fearlessness.
You did. You said you wanted to go to space for the fearless women in your life as well, your sister and your mom. Yeah. What was their reaction when you got to see them after you got off the capsule?
I have only seen my mom, and I was like, "Are you okay, Mom?" She just knew. She knew. She was totally okay. And I'm sure she was speaking in tongues underneath her breath, as she does all the time. She would do that for anything else, but definitely today. But she was so super confident. My mom, she has this thing where she can see. I mean, even down to the name of, like, the capsule
being tortoise. I know you spoke to all of your fans about that the capsule's named tortoise, the feather on the side, the symbol of Blue Origin, all of those gave you confidence that this was the right thing for you to do, correct?
Yeah, because I just asked for a sign from the heavens, from my angels, and they're like, well, here's the feather, which is what your mother calls you, and if that's not enough, the capsule's named tortoise, which is your second nickname that your mother calls you. And I'm like, okay, I'm going. Yeah. I got the message, and I'm gonna get the message.
Before I let you get back to your family, I just have to ask you, describe for us, because you're so brilliant at putting, words together and describing moments that we can all appreciate later. How would you describe the moment when you took off and then the moment you landed?
The moment, I mean, it is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my tour. It's really incredible. Now I know I'm asking this question for your fans. Will you write a song about this experience?
Oh, for sure. 100%. And not only that, I got to reveal my set list for the tour on a butterfly. How apropos.
Incredible.
Just flying in space. I don't know if anyone's ever
in space.
I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, so I'll just...
Well, there's a lot of things that you have done first. You are now officially an astronaut, and let me just tell you, on behalf of everyone here at Blue Origin, our webcast, and everyone, all of these individuals that put this incredible thing on, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for sharing your experience.
Is it 10 out of 10. That's my review.
10 out of 10.
You definitely go for it. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, Katy. Congratulations. All right, you guys. So many fun moments that we'll continue to see as we get the footage. But I'm going to send it back to you and let these incredible astronauts enjoy their time with their friends and family.
Thank you so much, Carissa. Wow. Kristen, I mean, 6 inspirational women in their own right. Eloquent. I could not be that eloquent coming down from space. You heard Katy Perry saying 10 out of 10, but number 2 experience only to being a mother. What were some of your takeaways from what we just heard?
Gail King used the word sisterhood. I'm feeling the sisterhood today. First all-female crew to space since 1963, and that was a solo mission, Valentina Tereshkova. And I'm with an all-female broadcast team here at Launch Site 1 in Blue Origin. Ariane, it has been a complete honor to work alongside you. It has been such an honor to watch all of the things that these women and their loved ones have said about what this experience means to them, because I am a firm believer that if you don't understand why people come out here to watch a space flight, it's just because you haven't seen a launch yet and you haven't been a part of this experience. And I truly believe what we witnessed here today is something that will continue to open up spaceflight and this experience for all of humanity and our little ones at home.
100%. I said it earlier. You can't be it if you can't see it. And to see these 6 women go up and the roles that they have played before, but I can't wait to see the roles that they play afterwards in their way of telling this story for the world to hear, to experience, to see. This is just the beginning. So I want to give a shout out to them, because as you saw, that is coming out of your comfort zone, whether you wanted to go to space or you're like Gail and you didn't anticipate it. Thank you for trusting yourselves and to their families and trusting their loved ones with Blue Origin. We are very proud to do that.
I'm so proud of Gayle King, too. I wonder if she's still afraid to fly on airplanes after flying to space. Have we cured her of her fear of flying?
I don't know. We've cured her for getting her ears pierced. So
there we go.
Baby
we'll take
steps.
that one.
Let's start with that one after this not so baby step.
Aw.
Look at that beautiful shot.
And now the party starts, right? Can we pop some champagne and celebrate a little bit later?
Let's do it.
It's only 9:20 a.m. It's not too early.
5 o'clock somewhere, baby. All right. What an incredible day. Just for all of us, for our astronauts, for our Blue Origin team. It was an honor to fly you to space. And if you would like to follow in the pioneering footsteps of these astronauts and purchase a seat to space, visit blueorigin.com and click Fly to Space. Your own journey to visit the Kármán line is much closer than you think. If you'd also like to purchase a mission patch to commemorate today's launch, head to Blue Origin shop for patches and much, much more. For Kristen, Carissa, and Tabitha, I'm Ariane Cornell. Thank you so much for joining us. And until our next launch, Gradatum Ferocitor.